driving in the rain, driving at night, or in fog, driving in very hot weather, or in cold weather and snow. These are all adverse conditions which can interfere with the smooth operation of an automobile. To drive safely in these different adverse conditions calls for caution and special skills at the wheel. However, there are many drivers who don't seem to realize that changes in weather and visibility usually require more caution, reduced speed, and complete control of the car at all times. These drivers willingly risk themselves and others whenever they go out on the road in bad weather, taking chances that might lead to an accident, because they drive just as though they were out on the sunniest and driest of days. To be a skilled driver, you must know how to drive in all kinds of weather conditions. So let's take a look at each of these different adverse conditions and see what special skills are needed for safe driving. Let's begin with driving at night. Without doubt, the greatest hazard in driving at night is poor visibility. To make sure you can see the road ahead and are obeying the law, always turn on your headlights about half an hour before sunset, or at any other time when visibility is limited. But remember, even with good headlights, you can't identify objects at distances over 150 feet at night. The range of even the brightest headlights is far less than the stopping distance required at speeds over 50 miles per hour. Don't overdrive your headlights. If you're going too fast, by the time you've reacted to an emergency, put your foot on the brake and stop the car, you may be involved in an accident. However, at a slower rate of speed, you'll be able to stop well within the range of your headlights. So the first rule for safe driving at night is to reduce speed. And whenever you're driving in the country, or where there isn't much traffic, turn your lights on bright. However, when another car is approaching, or you're following a car, dim your headlights from the bright to depressed position. When you're following a car, keep your headlights in the depressed position. As you approach to pass a car at night, flick your headlights from dim to bright several times before you pull out. This, like dimming your lights for approaching cars, is a courtesy of the road, one to remember and observe whenever you're driving at night. And when other cars are approaching, slow down and look not at the headlights of the other cars, but at the right edge of the road. This reduces the chance of your being temporarily blinded by headlight glare. But don't forget the other cars. Visibility is even more limited when you're driving in fog. Naturally, the safest and best driving rule to follow in a heavy fog is don't drive. Wait until the fog clears away. However, if you must drive in a fog, turn on your headlights in the depressed position so that they shine on the road in front of the car. Drive very slowly and know where you're driving. If you can't follow the road, don't take a chance. Stop and wait until the fog lifts. And remember that fog collects in the hollows between hills. Reduce your speed going down hills so you don't enter a patch of fog at too great a rate of speed. Snow, sleet, and rainstorms also limit visibility, so it's wise to drive with your headlights on. But more important, snow, sleet, and even rain can cause slippery roads. Always drive slowly under such adverse conditions. But remember that even at a slower rate of speed, a car can skid on a slippery street. Skidding occurs when tires lose their rolling grip or traction on the pavement and start to slip, as skis or sled runners do. Skids are caused by speeding up or applying the brakes too quickly, by driving too fast on curves, and by uneven brakes when one brake drum grips harder than the others. Entering a curve too fast can result in a serious accident. If you feel the car going into a skid, don't lose your head. Keep control of yourself and try to maneuver the car out of the skid by this method. Turn the front wheels in the direction of the skid. This will help the wheels regain their traction on the pavement. However, don't turn too far or too fast, for the car may then start skidding even more quickly in the opposite direction. Never apply the brakes if you start to skid. Keep the clutch engaged and slowly lift your foot off the accelerator. This will slow the car down as you turn in the direction of the skid. When you want to stop on a slippery road, you can probably avoid skidding by pumping on the brake pedal, which brings the car to a slow and gradual stop. Never apply the brakes heavily on slippery pavements. To start up on snow or ice, put the car in second gear and slowly increase acceleration so that the power is applied to the rear wheels gently and evenly. This keeps them from spinning and going into a skid. Here's a familiar winter scene. But getting stuck in the snow doesn't worry drivers who know the right technique for getting out. Never step on the gas and spin the rear wheels in an effort to get out. The wheels may only dig themselves in deeper. Instead, put the car in low gear and start forward slowly, letting the clutch pedal up gradually. If the wheels spin but the car doesn't move, don't continue with this method. Perhaps you can free the car by rocking, a technique which requires skill and a good sense of timing. Turn the front wheels so they are pointed straight ahead. Then put the car in low and start forward slowly. When the car has moved forward as far as it will go, shift quickly into reverse and help the car roll back. Then shift to low again and start forward. By repeating this process of rocking several times, you may be able to move the car out of the snow. If it does get free, keep moving until you're well clear of the snow you were stuck in. And don't forget that in rocking a car, it's often easier to back out rather than pull ahead. If you're really in deep, so deep that rocking won't even budge the car, perhaps you can get out by being pushed. If that doesn't work, then there's nothing to do but call for a towing car, though a shovel or sand carried in the trunk can be mighty useful. If you do much winter driving on icy roads, it's wise to use chains on your wheels. Chains bite into the snow and ice and provide better traction in deep snow and also on hills. Whenever you drive in mud, snow, or even sand, remember to put the car in second gear and keep moving. If you do get stuck, the same techniques you use for getting out of snow will help move the car out of mud and sand. In fact, let's review the technique of rocking and see how it can help free a car that's stuck in sand. Just as we noticed before, spinning the wheels only digs them in deeper. But if you begin to rock the car forward and backward, shifting quickly from first to reverse and back, you can probably free it. And once it is free, keep moving until you are clear of the sand or snow. The last of the adverse conditions that can make driving difficult is intense heat. Whether you're in the desert, on country highways, or on city streets, driving in very hot weather has its special hazards. Keep good control of the car at all times and drive at a moderate speed. Your car will probably need more water in very hot weather, so it's wise to keep a close check on the radiator, especially on long drives. Look at the engine temperature gauge on the dash to make sure it isn't overheating. And stop occasionally at a service station, even when you don't need gas, to make sure that there's plenty of water in the radiator. And don't forget, of all the hazards of driving in intense heat, none is more dangerous than fatigue. The heat, the glare of the sun, and a long, monotonous drive on a smooth road can easily make you feel sleepy. If you begin to feel sleepy, pull off the road and stop. Don't take a chance on falling asleep at the wheel. If you feel tired, don't drive. That's the best way to ward off the dangers of fatigue. Safe, smooth driving in the many different kinds of adverse conditions requires expert handling of the car at all times. When you have learned to master these dangerous conditions, you will truly be a skilled, alert driver.
Be sure to check out these suggested films and learn even more about the automobile industry. Have a wonderful day and be blessed.